Oh my god. I got sage embers on my pants and it literally burned a hole. Never again. Lesson is learned. Hey, it's Marin, and this is the weekly tarot and astrology forecast for February 2nd through the 8th of 2020. So we'll get started first with the tarot, what the overall spread, the Celtic cross spread will be for the collective watching. Then we will get into the daily astrology to round things out and finish off with the oracle deck cards and law of attraction cards for a bit further guidance. So first thing, we're going to be using the Marseille tarot deck today, which I never ever use, but I felt called to today. I only use this for collective readings. It's not a deck that speaks personally to me, so it's always one that I use for other people or groups. So I'm gonna do a 10 card Celtic cross spread and we'll see how things pan out. This deck is so beautiful, just looking at everything laid out here, it's actually really pretty and I'm excited to get into this reading. So the first card we have here represents the situation at hand, basically what's happening. And we have the King of Wands. We have him upright. So the King of Wands is fire of fire. It's initial energized action to take over or initiate a project. So there's some creative manifestation that we are actualizing in this week. So the complement cross card we have to further inform this in the second card is the Five of Swords reversed. So the Five of Swords generally has to do with being bound up by some external environment, and Five of Swords reversed, the metaphor I like to use is being driven crazy by roommates, but because it's your apartment, you have nowhere to go. So likely we're wanting to start this project, but we're in an environment that's unconducive to allowing us to have the space to manifest that. The third card for the potential of the situation is the Five of Cups. Five of Cups upright. It's actually a card called disappointment. It's about not getting your emotional needs met. So potentially this could be a huge, honestly, an emotional letdown. There could be an air of disappointment around how this project manifests. The fourth card that we have for the unconscious reason for the reading is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So the Ace of Pentacles deals with the momentum of manifesting gains and physical gains. So with it inverted, something is disappearing. There is a removal of resources, or there is a scarcity mindset going on. The fifth card we have is the recent past. We have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man deals with choosing the imperceptible over the perceptible, choosing the spiritual path over the worldly path. So with this being the recent past, we might have recently, quit our corporate job to follow our dreams. We might have recently turned down some type of worldly scenario in order to go within and find that alignment. So recently we have departed from worldly matters into a more spiritual path. The sixth card indicates the future, and we have the Eight of Cups reversed. So the Eight of Cups reversed deals also with going within or wanting to delay external events because you feel called to turn inward. With the reverse, we're unable to find the space to turn inward, or you want to leave the party but you're the host or something like that, where you really do want to find your space. This reading so far has really had the themes of wanting to find the space to go within and manifest creatively from there, but you don't have the space or the support around you to allow that to happen. The seventh card representing us in the situation is the Eight of Pentacles. It's funny that these repeated numbers a little bit. The Eight of Pentacles is actually called prudence. I have my sun in this deck in a Virgo. The Eight of Pentacles is associated with the first 9 degrees, 59 minutes of Virgo, 10 degrees basically. And it has to deal with slow and steady, humble, humility-based growth. So we are taking on this project slowly and steadily with the pace of an apprentice or with a dedicated artist. We are really taking things slowly and steadily regarding this project because we don't have the momentum around us yet. The eighth card is our influences and environment, and we actually have the Queen of Cups, which is a beautiful card to have actually, because the Queen of Cups is nurturing, fertile energy of having your dreams supported. It's optimum yin energy, complete receptivity and utmost love. So even though we might be going haywire with roommates or friends around us, there is a feeling of universal support, or the universe has our back. The ninth card representing our hopes and our fears is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is a card of the forthright emotional energy to pursue our dreams, to direct energy towards possessing something. So with it as our hopes and our fears, we do feel really called to go after this, and we're worried about our efforts being for nothing. So the final card representing the outcome is the Seven of Cups reversed. I've been pulling this card a lot. The Seven of Cups itself deals with being in a fantasy world or not seeing what's in front of you. With the reversed, we are still not in a phase of clarity, but we have realized that we're being disillusioned. We have just come out of realizing that what we had imagined is not exactly true. So with that being the tarot situation, there's definitely an air of wanting something to come to fruition, not having the environment to support that, so slowly and steadily accumulating the momentum on our own, even though there is a chance of being let down in this moment along that path. So let's take a look at the astrology for the first week of February to get more nuanced guidance day to day. And the astrology is my favorite part, so I like that better. So Sunday, February 2nd, we have a moon sextile to Neptune in the morning, and a sextile is an aspect of opportunity. So moon sextiling Neptune means that us, our body, our activity signified by the moon, has an opportunity to actualize dreams or higher states of consciousness signified by Neptune. So we're waking up the day in a really dreamy, elegantly artistic mood to actualize passions. The afternoon has a moon trine to Pluto, which intensifies our will towards getting those things done, which is pretty obviously starting off the week on an inspired note to actualize those passions. And then the moon sextiles Venus and trines Saturn to get the ball rolling through opportunity for harmony and long-term commitment for those practical implementations in the long term. So honestly, the week starts out with a lot of fire and a lot of engagement towards actualizing that creative dream. On Monday the 3rd, the moon enters Gemini as its dispositor, its ruler of Mercury enters Pisces, the sign of its exile and fall. So this is signifying definitely you are realizing that there is a lack of truth or a lack of practicality behind the will that you had. At the same time, you are wanting to communicate about that plan, like you're wanting to communicate about the dream that you're having, but in your efforts to communicate that aren't going forward well, you're realizing the potential pitfalls of the dream that you had. So with the moon also squaring Mercury, its ruler, it complicates communicating our ideas in a grounded way, which brings forth mixed messages and convoluted words. So this probably goes forward with the theme of being surrounded by people that can't necessarily support you in the here and now. Venus will sextile Capricorn that evening to bring forth opportunity to sweeten this long-term opportunity, but this theme of the long-term plans being you yourself building it slowly and steadily is definitely coming through here. On Tuesday the 4th, the luminaries, the sun and the moon, trying to brighten the day with relational harmony. So in the morning of Tuesday, we do start out with a fair amount of relationship harmony around us, but the moon squares Neptune and opposes Mars, which confuses us around what we're even feeling and whether or not we want to go after or get into conflict around how we're feeling. It's best not to betray others or to act confusedly. It's best not to act at all under this transit, honestly, or to act with direct honesty rather than covering it up by being passive-aggressive or manipulative. On Wednesday the 5th, Mercury will square Uranus, or Mercury trines Uranus, early morning during twilight to wake us up with inspiration to speak innovation into our existence. So we are getting a hang on realizing how much it will really take to inspire us to act constructively around this plan, while the moon moves into Cancer and invites in the priority of safety as well. So we really are finding that in order to take on this long-term project, there is an aspect of mental health prioritization that needs to happen. The moon will sextile Uranus and trine Mercury to allow for opportunity to communicate on our plans in an innovative yet grounded way. So do firmly speak your truth regarding what your ideals are for this project, especially with those you're hoping to garner support from. On Thursday the 6th, the Cancer moon will oppose Jupiter to inflate whatever emotional dynamics we are operating around. So especially during the afternoon, whatever feelings that you're feeling will probably come to a head or be exaggerated for better or for worse. There is a moon trine to Neptune that night, which eases us into trusting how the waters are evening out and how things are accumulating, whether or not they are in our best interest. At that point, we are accepting how the cards are unfolding. So remain level-headed amongst the tendencies tendency to project and prioritize direct honesty amidst the confusion. On Friday the 7th, the moon will oppose Saturn to wake us up vividly aware of our perceived limitations. Nearing the end of the week, reality, as quote, is really setting in. And then it asks us to negotiate our expectations with our circumstances. Again, this speaks really true to wanting to actualize this dream, but knowing that there are some hang-ups in our vision around it currently. Venus enters Aries as the moon enters Leo, so it brings our focus into finding harmony through getting what or who we want. Venus is in its detriment, it's in its exile in Aries because it rules the opposite sign of Libra. So this does start a few weeks of needing to understand that we don't have to force attraction. We can simply be in our attractive receptive mode. There's a grand fire trine including Chiron between Venus and Aries, the moon in Leo, and Chiron, or there is a fire trine. There's not a grand fire trine. Fuck, I don't know why I wrote that. There's a trine between Chiron and Aries, Venus and Aries, and the moon and Leo. So it adds a touch of open vulnerability around the end of the week for us to get going slowly and steadily, kind of on our own around this. Finally, on the 8th, there is a Leo full moon, Saturday the 8th. So this is a culmination with the sun in Aquarius opposite the sun or the moon in Leo, which asks us, oh, this is so resonant with this reading, it asks us whether it's worth our time to untangle the knot that we could just cut away. So is it worth it to try and motivate and inspire these people around you to follow your plans, or is it best to cut those relationships in this circumstance and go after this on your own? It's a fairly straightforward time to release what is more tiring than entertaining, and asks us to take it as a time for refreshing our energetic hygiene. So I will link this entire video down below for you to get a full scope on what this Leo moon entails for us collectively and what the energy specifically will be about for this Leo full moon. But we can expect this to be the time of realizing, like, is it worth it? And there's not a right or wrong answer because it will depend collectively on how this creative project feels for us and whether we do want something with more support or whether we're ready to go at it alone. So with that being said, let's pull a Work Your Light heart or head, body, heart spread to get some oracle questions answered for this week. So this head, body, heart spread definitely resonates with what's come up so far. So for the head, we have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So mentally, we need to stop basing our actions on the past when the past does not actually currently exist or apply, and instead really tune into how we're feeling in this moment and being guided to pursue logically. For the body card, we have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? So big messages coming through for me, even based on the astrology and the tarot coming forward, is that we'll probably have to take some sort of short-term travel trip or like leave our place of residence for something to gain information. Finally, for the heart card, we have share your voice. Come out of the cave, persecution, expression. So sharing your voice, even if it's your voice about not having a clear voice, could be really powerful. Being honest and direct rather than trying to subvert how confused you are might be the most direct thing to do, is simply being open about how not open or non-direct you're feeling. Because this week does really feel like kind of the rocky beginning to a new project, but that this isn't the final form and that this is not the end manifestation, and we simply have to trust how the path is beginning to unwind and whether we even want to unwind this path at all. So with that being said, if you did find this helpful and you would like a reading for me, I would love to read for you, so check out my private astrology consultations down below. Also, if you are in the spiritual community at all, if you are a tarot reader, an astrologer yourself, or looking for any type of metaphysical services, check out Rashi, my newly launched platform connecting spiritual practitioners and their ideal clients to facilitate healing. So if you are at all looking for like a spiritual Yelp website, Rashi is exactly the place for you, and I would love to have you on our platform. Otherwise, like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in the next video.